A steamy Saturday for the first weekend of fall in Delaware's capital city, and Kyle Busch has been steaming right along on the Monster Mile. As we approach halfway in today's NASCAR Nationwide Series race, Kyle has been out in front for all but 4 of this race's laps. Here's our 5-hour energy rapid recap. It was Joey Logano leading the first 4 laps. Other than that, it's all KB.
KB's been flying after Kyle Busch. He's working the top side of that racetrack. You see that, how he passed Joey Logano. But Kyle's been able to run on the bottom, the middle, the top. He's really got a good handle in the car right now.
Not been a great day for Danica. She started back in 42nd after being 12th in final practice. And then a little while ago, lap 70, the race really went wrong.
Yeah, I was trying to use this as a learning experience opportunity today, and had a poor qualifying effort and blew a right front tire there, bringing out the caution. Tough day for Danica. Hopefully they can get back out and run some laps, get a little experience.
Back in the pack, while Kyle Busch has done a lot of dominating, we've seen some pretty hard racing.
Oh, yeah, I tell you, there's 4 cars right there. Ryan Newman and Jason Luffer, Steve Wallace, Trevor Bain battling back and forth. Little bumper contact there. Hey, I didn't like what you did. I'll give you a little break here. Those guys have been roughing each other up, but they've settled in now.
On the lead lap right now, there are 15 cars. The race has only been led by 2 different drivers. Only been 1 caution so far for 4 laps. The Monster's been kind of tame for most so far today, Vince, but not for 1.
Well, certainly was a difficult go for Danica Patrick. As you see her team working feverishly on her car, spent a lot of time up above the groove, really leaning on that right front. You heard her talk about the vibration that she was experiencing. Spoke with crew chief Tony Erie Jr. just a moment ago. He said, we'd like to get it repaired enough to get her back out and get some laps. That's why the team is working so hard. Danica says she'll wait until after the team determines whether or not they are going to return before talking to the media. So right now, working on the car, trying to get Danica in the 7 back out, Marty.
All right, thank you, Vince. As you see, Kyle Busch putting Kenny Wallace another lap down. Kenny running 29th position right now, and that'll put him 3 down. Look at 13th, 14th, and 15th. You got Brendan Gaughan, Michael Annett, Brian Scott, all in this mix, and Annett trying to get underneath the 62.
Yeah, Michael Annett's had a very solid day. He was running up around the 12th, 13th spot before that caution came out, and then had the pit road speeding penalty. Had to start at the rear of the back there after his pass through, and so he's tried to make up some ground here. Having a good solid day.
Brendan Gaughan's having one of his best days in quite a while.
Annett chasing that car pretty good, though. Yeah, if you're still on the lead lap here with the pace that Kyle Busch is setting, you've had a pretty solid run so far.
And Brendan's had DNFs in 3 of his last 7 races. Let's check in on the 6 and the 99. A few sparks coming off of Trevor Bain's car. That is for 11th on the racetrack.
Saw that right front tire off of Trevor Bain's car. Pretty scary looking thing. You know, I don't know what they did what kind of adjustment they made, but if they didn't make an adjustment, they run another long green run, he might be the next one to blow a right front.
Yeah, I can't remember which one of the 2 of you mentioned it, but you gave Jack Roush kudos for sticking with the number 6 of Ricky Stenhouse behind the wheel, especially when he was having all that tough luck in the first half of the year, because in this day and age where it's what have you done for me lately, we see a lot of kids only get a couple of breaks, not that many.
Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse done a nice job. He had a tough time at the start of the year, adjusting to the cars, to the racing, was getting in a lot of accidents, but Jack Roush stuck with him, and he's proved Jack Roush exactly right. They knew this young man had a lot of talent, and he's starting to prove that now, and it's really doing a lot better. Another guy with a lot of talent, Trevor Bain, Jamie.
Well, you guys are talking about the 99 and the problems they had on the right front. Jerry Baxter, his crew chief, just came on the radio and told him, hey, I was over-cambered on the right front. We need to compensate for it. So more on that. Let's go to the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer. Tim, what exactly does that mean, and what can they do to get the car right?
Jamie, it's going to be a really severe change, because what you have to do is loosen up the bolts right here, and what you'd like to do is eliminate about the thickness of these shims right here. And what you're trying to do is actually get the tire off of the inside, the weight off the inside, and transfer that weight. By taking camber out, you're really going to transfer the wear pattern from the inside of the tire over to the right side. But by raising the car up with this wedge bolt, you can also take just a little bit of camber out. But it's going to be hard to do without losing a couple of laps here in Dover.
Thanks for the explanation, Tim. So not the kind of news that Trevor Bain is going to want to hear.
Nothing they can do right now. I mean, let's say have a caution.
to work on it, I mean, he's likely to be the next victim of a blown tire if they're not careful.
Yeah, one thing you'll have to do as a driver, if you have that information, you can change the way that you drive the car a little bit. You're not going to want to dive it off in the corner quite as hard. Roll it back up the corner just a little bit, and then kind of drive the car around the corner. You see Trevor doing that a little bit there. He's carrying more speed right there. Just not put too much wheel in it here as you exit the corner, or you put more load on that right front yet. So the driver can help a little bit because they don't have time to make those changes.
You notice Justin Allgaier sneaking into the picture every now and then. He is the first car 1 lap down in 16th position. He's trying to get a caution right now to get back on the lead lap. While this is going on, they go around the 87 of Joe Nemechek. Let's listen in on the 99 radio.
We're starting to lose the right front again. It's starting to chatter. All right, just take care of it. Hopefully we get us a caution here pretty soon.
All right, how do you take care of it?
I would just be worried about the caution being for the 99 if I was that team.
Yeah.
I tell you.
Especially after the way that tire looked when it came off after the first caution and only caution that we've had so far. And boy, if he's taking care of it, I don't know how, because he's going right around and takes the spot away from Ricky Stenhouse. So move Trevor Bayne up to 11th.
So what I am seeing is him drive the race car a little bit differently than what he was. So I think that he is making that adjustment, trying to help that right front.
All right, the good news, if you're a Kyle Busch fan, he is still leading. The bad news is Carl Edwards' car is coming back to him again, and he is cutting into the margin. Here at our NASCAR Nationwide Series race at Dover, presented by CC's Pizza, under our second caution, you can see the reason why. Damage to the 73 of Derek Cope.
Has damage on both sides here. Looks like he had a tire go down. Ouch. Bam, into the outside wall. And then he's headed to the inside. No easy hits at this track. That's 2 hard licks.
So he gets both sides of the race car. And here we've completed 113 of the 200 laps. As he climbs out, we can tell you Kyle Busch has, for the 5th straight Dover race, clinched the most laps led. He's already led 109. And of course, a reminder, he is still in search of that record of 11 wins in a season. That would break the tie that he holds with Sam Ard at 10.
He's able to pull away from Carl Edwards a couple of seconds, but then Carl's able to just inch his way back in contention, and then this caution came out. We'll see if they can make an adjustment on Carl's car and keep up in the shorter runs.
That's an awfully long way from pit in all the way down to where Kyle is pitting, where Dr. Jerry Punch is set up. Let's send it to him early, though, Doc. What are they planning?
Well, 3,800 RPMs, 35 miles an hour is the key for Kyle, not the speed on pit road. They're talking about Kyle. So the front end of the car just doesn't quite hold as long as he'd like. So they're going to put a rounder wedge in the rear to get the front nose of the car just to hang on more coming in the corner. Now, in front of him is Carl Edwards. And Carl said the adjustment you made is good, but not good enough. Still tight in the middle. 4 tires. They top it off with Sunoco fuel and an air pressure adjustment. Jamie.
And Joey Logano all the way down at pit out. The last pit box says he wants to go in the same direction. He needs to be tighter when he gets off pit road and off on the restarts. It was 1.5 rounds of wedge, 4 tires. He comes out 3rd, and that is where he entered pit road, Marty.
The big gainer so far, Reed Sorensen picks up 2, and Brad Keselowski loses 2 spots. And Ricky Stenhouse's crew gets him back into the top 10. So stay with us. We'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. Want to show you exactly how tight it is on pit road. Watch the 40 Mike Bliss and Eric Darnell coming in, and Will Sturgill, our over-the-wall reporter, is going to go right between them. Oh, so close. What's it look like from his perspective?
A little tight, a little tight, a little tight. We're all right, though. There we go. Here we go, going around. Under control. Get it up. Here we go, down and away. Out of there we go.
Little tight is an understatement. As we come back, we're going to Green Flag Racing. Kyle Busch leads Carl Edwards, Logano, Harvick, Sorensen. That's your top 5.
Boy, Harvick got a great run there on the restarts. They pull down in front of Carl Edwards, trying to take the lead. Don't think that'll happen.
Whoa. Ryan Newman's going way high, too.
Kind of tight back in there.
Brad Keselowski and Jason Leffler side by side. There's Newman again. At least he's not as high as he was in turn 1. Also want to tell you the lucky dog went to Justin Allgaier. There were 5 waiver rounds. Keller, Davis, Kenny Wallace, Clements, and McClure. So you're caught up.
comes Carl. He's wanting that second spot back. He doesn't want Kyle Busch to get quite as far away as he got the last time.
Yeah, that's the key thing right now. If he can just keep from losing too much time right here, this car seems to really come around after about 20 laps, and he can start running Kyle back down.
Kyle makes it look so easy from the drop of the green flag, though. This has been the way it has been all day, although we have had good racing. And right there, you get another example of it. A little further back, Joey Logano going underneath Harvick. So Harvick, after making the great start, starts to move a little bit backwards.
Harvick just doesn't have the car today to run up there with those top 3 cars. He did a good job to try to get there, but it just not enough car to stay there.
How about Stephen Wallace and his teammate Brendan Gaughan ganging up on the 22 of Brad Keselowski? They're both on the high side. Here comes the 38 of Loeffler.
It's almost the same thing we saw in the spring with Brad Keselowski. Ran the top 5 first half of the race, and now he's battling to try to just stay in the top 10.
Yeah, they lost a couple of spots there on the pit stop, and you can see his car is just not that good once he got back in traffic.
Ryan Newman, the 3rd car in that freight train. Now he's going to break off, go low, and maybe he sees something that he can sneak underneath Keselowski. Now he thinks about it again and falls back into line. Let's get an update on the 62 of Brendan Gaughan, Dave.
And Marty, I think one of the things he knows how to do for sure is jump on these restarts. I had him restart in 14th, and he was already up into the top 10 by the time that first restart lap was completed. Had a tight race car. They just made an air pressure adjustment the last time down pit road.
Still on that high side, and Keselowski falls in behind. Now it's Loeffler going to be taking the next shot. Now this time he runs up even higher, and that opens the door for Keselowski to come right back on him. He carries the momentum, though. A little bit further back, you saw Newman's got his hands full with Ricky Stenhouse. Good 5-car battle here.
Loeffler getting close right there to the 22. Makes a nice run, though. See if he can complete this pass down into 1.
Stenhouse side by side going through the corner. Again, Newman high through 1 and 2. And it's going to allow Stenhouse to clear him. So move Stenhouse up to 12th. Here comes Loeffler again, taking a peek underneath the 22 of our points leader, Brad Keselowski.
It's just so difficult to make that pass from the bottom, just where you need to really be able to power up and stay in the throttle. You're not able to do it, and the momentum of that car on the outside is able to carry him off the corner just a little bit faster.
3 of the nationwide only drivers surrounding the points leader, double duty man, Brad Keselowski. Let's get more from Dave Burns.
On Jason Loeffler, he has felt plagued by a couple of different things. One was that damage to the left rear from Newman early on. They've been working on that each stop. He said it felt like a parachute on the last run. They pushed it in some more this time. Also, he feels like the motor's lagging, and right there coming off the corner, even though he's going to try to complete the pass, he says it feels like I got nothing coming off the corner from that motor.
Yeah, and Brad Keselowski right there was trying to set up Brendan Gaughan to get a run coming off the corner, and Jason Loeffler stuck his nose in there and took that spot away from Brad, and he wasn't able to do that. Now here comes Ricky Stenhouse to pass both of them.
Boy, Stenhouse with a nice move, saw the opportunity and has seized it. So move Stenhouse into the top 10. All right, let's go back to the race lead, because Kyle Busch this time does not lead by a 1.5 seconds or more. In fact, Carl Edwards has chopped it under 1 second, guys.
I think the biggest thing was he was able to get back into that second spot before Kyle struck out there and got that 1.5 seconds lead on him. So he's able to kind of hang here. Lap times have been pretty close. One lap, Carl will beat him by a couple of hundredths. The next one, Kyle will come back. So they're hanging pretty steady right now.
There's your top 5 after 128 of 200 laps at our nationwide series race here at Dover, presented by CC's Pizza.